You know, when you get some players, you've had them for 4 years, and you see what they can do and how they just progress, and then it's time to say goodbye, and you got to find new ones to come on in. But we certainly have been blessed to have 3 seniors with us for 4 years, and then of course DJ, who just fit right in like she was here the whole time.
You can see that mustache coming in.
Yeah, it's coming in slowly, but it's getting there. It'll be a little grayer probably by this time next week.
I was talking to Gwen, and usually baseball, softball players are pretty superstitious. Was there ever a thought that maybe keep this thing away while we keep winning?
No, not at all. In fact, I try to do everything as much non-superstitious if I can. You know, like try to do everything completely different every time. You know, so no system to it all at all.
Why did it get shaved off?
Actually, it was because I was in Hawaii and we were going diving, and for the seal for the face mask. So yeah, shaved it off.
Now it's
practicality reigns supreme. Then.
Yeah, practicality. Yeah, yes, I just left it off.
You guys have been going through kind of a murderer's row of weekends here. You know, the records aren't as tough for the opponents the last couple weeks. Do you have any concern about kind of your team keeping focus and pushing through to the finish line here?
Yeah, of course we do, obviously, but we also have to remember that you know, Utah was right on the top half of the standings last year. You know, they almost beat Tennessee this year. You know, Katie Donovan beat us here last time 2 years ago. You know, so you know they have the ability there if we don't play up to our game, and that's what we've got to be aware of, is that the game's going to reward the team that plays the best. If we don't come out and play well, they will beat us, and so that's what we've got to do, is got to make sure that we hunt for the win. We don't wait for them to win.
Do you address with how well UCLA is playing that you don't just need maybe series wins, you need sweeps the rest of the season?
Oh, well, I'm not, you know, I can't control what they do. Or, you know, right now it's in our control, and that's where you want to be. We don't have to hope for them to lose, you know, so they are a very good team, UCLA, and I don't expect them to lose. So really, yeah, we have to win.
With those 3 seniors you've had for 4 years, you know, I mean, they've kind of helped Oregon stay on top, you know, in terms of being the softball powerhouse. I mean, what have you kind of seen from them, and what have they done in their 3 years that have kind of has helped Oregon kind of stay on top?
Well, each one has been a little bit different. Of course, you know, Jenna Lilly brings all the energy in the world. She's a, you know, Energizer bunny out there, and you can see it when she's at bat. She's talking to herself like, you know, someone's listening. You know, but you know, just her ability on and off the field. You know, she's the first one to practice, last to leave. Just that consummate type player that you love to have in your program, that works harder than anybody else. And you know, she's been great, and she's just a good kid. Then Gwen Savekis, who's just effervescent. She just bubbles with personality. You know, great spokesperson for the program. You know, really is a good ambassador for softball. I'm sure she's going to be great at the next level as well. And her game has improved so much. You know, Lauren Linville, probably one of the most underrated players, I think, especially defensively in the league, and has had some huge hits throughout her career for us. One big one was UCLA about 3 years ago down there. We're losing late in the game, and she hits a bomb to put us up, and it changed the whole series. We won that series and went on to win another championship. So, you know, and then of course this year, you know, she's had a couple of big home runs, including one against Plain last weekend. So she's one of those hitters that, as a pitching coach, you don't like to face, because you never know what she's going to hit. She hits them out above her head, she hits them below her knees. You know, that's Lauren Linville, and then she steps up and makes some great plays. So I think she's been very underrated. But all 3 together have been huge for us program. And then of course, you know, bringing DJ in, like I said, we couldn't have. If I had a choice to pick her up as a freshman, I would love to have had her on our team. She's just a great person as well as an excellent ball player.
We've seen the scouting report for Utah this weekend.
Well, obviously they have 3 pitchers that are probably going to throw against it. They have a 4th one, a freshman, but I don't think she'll start. But each one, you know, is a little bit different. You've got Donovan, who's a bit of a mix, up and down. I actually gave her lessons before I got the job. I was a pitching coach. She used to come down, drive down from Salem, and she's very talented. You know, she's over 6 foot and can really spin the ball pretty well. Then you have Vera Montez, who's really hard drop ball, hard down, and a pretty good changeup. And then Hilburn's a bit of a mix of everything, more of an east-west screwball. So we've really got 3 different types of pitchers that we have to face in 3 days probably, and we have to be able to change gears quickly. Defensively, you know, they've got a great catcher in Martinez back there. She's very good. Bowen at third base is very good. And then they got some young kids that are just trying to, you know, work their way in. And I'm sure they're pretty excited to be coming to number 2 and playing us. So, you know, the danger's there. If they put it all together, you know, they have the ability to probably beat anybody. And we can't overlook the fact that Stanford beat UCLA several weeks ago. So, again, if you don't play your game, trouble's there.
All those 3 different kind of pitchers, is that any kind of tune-up kind of for seeing different pitchers that you may kind of have to face later on in the postseason?
Well, the good thing is we've faced good pitching all year, and that was part of the plan to be able to face those different types of pitchers. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't know who you're going to get in the postseason. You could get, and there's plenty of teams with one really good pitcher. Not too many teams have the depth that we do, or UCLA or Washington. But certainly there's adequate pitchers out there that can come in and shut you down if you're not prepared.
We've seen you have the power offense. We saw last year maybe trying to go a little more small ball. Now it seems like you have a good mix. Is this what you've been trying to build?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I had more speed, like Decatur and CO and several others we had at one time. And then right now this is a pretty good mix. Yeah, you're right. You get Haley Cruz down the bottom, who's fast but from the right side, and she's been creating some havoc down there. And then you've got some unpredictable hitters like I talked about Linville, and then you've got Iakopo, a good freshman, coming up with some good power. Rhodes is certainly capable, and of course Mack, who's very dangerous. So it is a good blend, and if everybody does their job, we're in good shape. But I feel like we're kind of gelling right now. I think that we're playing good softball. Obviously DJ Sanders in the 3 positions really adding a big bonus to this club right now.
I asked Jenna about this a little bit, but over the course of their career, the softball program is obviously setting new marks all the time. And I was just wondering, culturally around the institution, the women's basketball program has done well. Women's track and field has always been strong. I was wondering about the cross-pollination, how the kids interact with each other, and whether there's some success from the other sports leading into your team, and whether you're able to provide an example for some of the other sports and just that kind of thing.
Well, absolutely. I think that you see Kelly Graves here a lot. Especially last year. He comes along and several other coaches, and I think we all try to feed off each other's success. I'd love to know what Kelly says to his team to make them perform last year. To make the elite 8. And get as close as they did, which was tremendous. And we kind of push each other. I noticed that when we're on the road, the ladies, like last week it was lacrosse, they're trying, keeping track of them, and so they do. Obviously they meet each other, in the dorms, and then of course the JACOR and of course HTC, and they follow each other. Some of them have boyfriends or on the football team, and so that's always fun. But that's part of the experience of being a student athlete here at any school. Really, is just getting to know. Hopefully, you're going to be lifelong friends.
You've had All-American pitchers here before, but have you ever had what appears like 2 All-American pitchers on the same team like this?
Well, probably the closest was Hawkins and Moore, that first year. But I didn't pitch Hawkins enough, so it was probably my fault that she didn't get the status. But well, certainly, it's hard to do. But I mean, I like the way they're pushing each other. And if Maggie Ballant could have been like she was last year, there's another one that could have been close too. So. Certainly is a luxury and one that I enjoy, is to be able to have 2-3 pitches that I can go to with different types of games.
Is there a goal maybe to put up some crooked numbers this weekend and hopefully get Maggie some innings before you hit postseason?
Well, I'd certainly love to. I would love to get her ready. We've been working hard on it. She's been working hard off the field, preparing herself for an opportunity. I keep telling her she's going to get an opportunity. I think I may have pushed the gun a little bit too early against ASU there. She wasn't quite ready yet, but I like what we saw yesterday in scrimmage. I thought she threw pretty well. Her velocity was up a little bit where it needs to be, and so that's my message to her, is let's get your velocity back up to where it should be.
So is it a physical thing then, mental thing?
I think it was a bit of both. Sometimes it's pretty tough. Sometimes you get 2 ahead of you, you feel like it's hard to break in. And then you don't perform and you get your opportunity, and so you beat yourself up a little bit. And then of course, she has lost some velocity. She's had some small injuries that haven't enabled her to be in the weight room as often as she'd like, and so I think she lost some strength that way. And so we're just trying to regain that. And I think once we get that back, I think we'll see more like the old Maggie.
And knowing there are 3 top 5 teams from the Pac-12, how does that make you feel reflecting on your season, but also going into the season forward looking for that win?
Well, I've said all along that I think it's going to help prepare the whole Pac-12 for the postseason. I think now if you look at the pitchers you've got in this conference, Rachel Garcia is as good as anybody. You'd match her up with kind of like a Barnhill type pitcher. And then we've got the lefties, Juarez and McQuillan, You know, there are 2 more that can match up with Paige Parkers of the world and stuff like that. So there's pitchers in our league that cross over into that SEC realm. I think that, you know, rising tide lifts all boats. When our league is stronger, I think it makes each team individually stronger, and so hopefully that carries over into the postseason, and hopefully you will see, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams from the Pac-12 in the World Series.
That being said, what would it mean for your team to win the Pac-12 outright this year?
Oh, it's a tremendous achievement. I mean, you know, it shows that, you know, that would be 5 titles in 6 years, and I've said all along I want to be considered almost like very consistent throughout that time, and it shows you have a good program. It's not just about having 1 or 2 good players, because the span 6 years you have to bring in multiple good players and make them blend and get them up to that level. So I think that says a lot about our program if we can get that accomplished.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.